Okay, and we're live and we're back again. We have another beautiful market review. I'm excited to share this one with you. By the way, we made editor's pick. Let's go! Shout out to everyone that boosted the post, that followed. If you're a new follower, thank you. Appreciate you. I really mean that. Today, before we jump into the market breakdown, I want to share something with you. And let me grab my notepad. It's right here. Okay, just make sure I'm not making this up. But I was reading something today, and it was from Ryan Holiday, and he was talking about fear. What is fear? And of course, everyone knows false evidence appearing real. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you did. Maybe you've heard it 1,000 times. Well, there's 1,001 for you. We defeat fear with logic. That's what Ryan Holiday was talking about today. He said leaders are dealers in hope, but in a more practical sense, they are also slayers of fear. And you're a leader. You know, if you aren't quote unquote making it in trading, if you aren't living a 6 figure, 7 figure lifestyle, even a 5 figure, let's redefine the goal of what success really looks like. You're a leader because you have to get up and you have to lead yourself. You have to lead yourself through your failures. You have to lead yourself through your triumphs, but you have to also lead yourself through fear. And today, Ryan Holiday was quoting Pericles. Pericles was someone that existed. He was a general of an army around the time of Marcus Aurelius. And Pericles came upon his soldiers and they were frozen in fear, and he paid attention to his surroundings, and this huge thunderstorm was happening, and the thunder was rattling back and forth, and the soldiers were hunkered down and just seriously paralyzed by fear, because imagine living in a time where you didn't know what was what. You didn't know what a thunderstorm or a tornado or a hurricane, whatever it might have been. They had no clue that that existed. So he walked upon his soldiers and they were seriously frozen in fear. And he looked around and he had to be a dealer in hope. He had to, as again, have practical sense and a slayer of fear. So he grabbed two rocks together and smashed them together. It was boom, boom, boom. Smashes the rocks together. He said, "Is it not this? Except a larger object in the sky doing the same thing?" And sure, that's not the exact science, but it was something logical, and he got his soldiers to overcome the fear. And the whole point of it is the only way through is to attack that fear logically, clearly, and empathetically. And you can use the word empathetically with grace. Have some grace for yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, what is it that's holding you back right now? What is that fear that's stopping you from going to that next level? Is it the fear of actually investing in yourself? Is it the fear of, what others have to say about your trading journey? Is it the fear of taking that next trade? Is it the fear of losing a trade? What is that fear that is holding you back, and how can you approach it logically? Look at this thing. If you have fear of taking and placing a trade or in investing in yourself or thinking about what others have to say, look at this from a logical standpoint and say, okay, what is it that I need to do to make sure that there's proper preparation so that I can gladly meet success on the day that, the day I open the door and it is there. But until then, open the door. Don't let fear, false evidence appearing real, hold you back from you taking your life to that next level. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this market breakdown. I told y'all we are going to get to the market breakdown, and we're getting to the market breakdown. Okay, so we're looking at gold. Shout out again, TradingView. Man, that's so cool. I don't care what anyone else says. And if you hear an accent, I'm from Alabama originally. I'm living in Idaho. But that's what the accent is, okay? from South Alabama to be exact. So look, you can make it out. You feel me? um, let's go ahead and pop open to the daily. We have a beautiful flag. Okay, a beautiful flag over here. Um, as we see, we just made a higher high. Come on, let's get a round of applause for gold for making another higher high. It is doing its thing. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna expand over on our ascending trend line that we had just because it was so pretty. Look at that thing. And we're gonna go ahead and drop into the 1 hour, and I'm gonna give you an analysis after I finish going through and kind of like marking the sucker up. Okay, so just hang in there with me. We had this extension up top, and if you look at our review from yesterday, the video that we posted, man, if it's not so spot on to what we said was going to happen. A little fake out drops below, and I want you to look at this. Gold is, it's a fickle something. It's gonna fake you out a little bit, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It look right now. It looks like it wants to go shorter, and everything in here is saying it wants to go shorter. We had a little break of this little structure here. Okay, this is our extension or a smaller ascending within the bull flag. We had the push up out of this ascending back into the top of this bull flag. We got our structure, it breaks through, and now we're forming a smaller flag in this area. We don't quite have a bottom of this yet. That's okay. What we'll do though is we're gonna drag over this just for an area for it to kind of meet up with, like a smaller support. Okay, but let's go ahead and we're gonna zoom out and we're just gonna break this thing down real quick because on the daily, I want us to make an observation of something real quick. Okay, we just did all that chart work. Everything looks like if you trade patterns that it wants to go lower. Your 4 hour set it, your 1 hour set it, your 15-minute set it. However, let's stop for a second. Where are we in the market? The market has clearly been pushing up. Okay, we've had a lot of big impulses here, but we just finally got a rejection on the daily as a bearish rejection. But let's pay attention to the other times that the market was in this area. We got a clear rejection, that same little candle, and then a massive push down, followed by another massive push down. Okay, over here. Let me grab this. My computer wants to back out for whatever reason. We got again this huge rejection. Price kind of trickles on up right here, and then it breaks down lower and then lower. And then over the course of 2 days, each time it's kind of breaking this, like your highs. Over the course of 2 days, it's usually dropping 900 points. Okay. So off of this small rejection, it's not enough. That's only a quarter, right? If you really look at this thing, it only reduced to like a quarter of that candle that it had just given. So that's something I'm going to be wary of as we're going into this market, especially just because the daily time frame says a lot. And now, yeah, we have this 4 hour engulfing. Okay, it's engulfing. It broke these, but price can easily just kind of fake you out, give a little dip, and the next thing you know, we're heading back up and we're making some more highs. Right? How many times have you been caught in that before? Because we're rushing into a trade. Okay, so instead of rushing into it, what do I always say? We need to wait for the market to give us something, give us an indication that it wants to reverse. And this is not an indication. Your 4 hour, I get it. That's the 4 hour. But I want to see my daily align with my 4 hour. I don't want to see the 4 hour out on its own. I want to see my my daily, my 4 hour, and then my 1 hour align before I start dropping in to see a 15-minute time frame entry. Um, so not quite an entry there yet. It did have a nice little break of structure, but look, this, like I said, this is our 4 hour liquidity zone reversal point, and then we had a 1 hour mark, um, which was up here, and it's not on here. I deleted it, but you can go back and look. But this is the 1 hour reversal point that I had. So I'm gonna mark this on here. Boom, so good. Go ahead, draw our extension back up top, just like that. And then I'm gonna bring back our trend line up here. And now that we've kind of separated this trend line from it, we've added this extension, you can kind of see like there's not much there, especially on the 1 hour. And look, if you're taking a trade, do not take a trade that is counter trend off of one candle on based off of one higher time frame. And especially don't take a counter trend trade without with just the confirmation of the 1 hour time frame. Please no, you're gonna put yourself in between a rock and a hard place on that. You're gonna be sitting there beating yourself up because you knew you shouldn't have taken it because you knew the confirmations weren't there, but then you entered the trade anyways. You don't want to do that. So yeah, look, here we are. It's kind of floating around. I personally, if I was a betting man, I might be a losing man, but if I was a betting man, I honestly just feel that we're just getting a little bit of this right here. Maybe not to this extent, but something like that, you know? I could definitely see gold just faking everybody out, maybe dropping a little bit lower, catching people on the downside. Oh, the market's reversing now. Next thing you know, gone. She's going to head up to the top side and she's going to leave you sitting there on your hands asking questions like what happened? Where'd it go? Why'd it do it? So yeah, this isn't too long of a market breakdown. Go back, watch the one on my Trading View channel. You go into my profile, you'll go down, you'll see it. I think it is probably going to be the most popular one on there. But we go over gold in a really in-depth analysis, so check that one out. I just wanted to update you on where we're at right now with price. And that's where we're at, is the gold trying to get people caught on the wrong side of the market per usual. So yeah, patience pays, you know. There's nothing wrong with waiting to take the right trade. Don't risk capital if you don't have to risk capital. Again, I heard it the other day. You have to look at each trade as not just a business expense, because business expenses are expected. Hear me. Business expenses are expected, but business deals are something you control. So look at this as a business deal. How many good business deals are you inclined to make every week? Are you making 5 to 10 business deals a day? And if so, do you think they're of quality? Because most of the time, if we remove ourselves and our pride from the situation, we might only be able to really curate one good business deal, two good business deals a week. Maybe it's once every 2 weeks, twice every 2 weeks. If you're over trading right now, you're putting a lot of risk on the table, and you're saying to yourself and justifying, because you might not quite understand risk management yet, that I'm only risking 1%. I'm only risking 2%. Yeah, per trade. But now look at how many trades you're taking a month. Say you're taking 30 trades a month at 2%. You're risking 60% of your account just that month. It's not just per trade. You have to look at it on a longer scale. We're not just in this just for the day. We're in this for the long haul. And I want you to be in this for the long haul. So look at this at scale. How can you take your trading experience and optimize it? Look at this at months out. How can you stay in the game long enough to win? Act as if, persist until, and become the asset. That's what we're about here. Okay? So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'll publish the ideas inside of my trading view. You can expect those. I'll do the dollar. I'm also going to do gold, of course. And if you leave a comment on this video, I will add anything that you would like me to look at, crypto, stock, whatever it is. If it has a chart, we can analyze it, and that's a guarantee. Okay, I will catch you next time. Till then, thanks again. Editor's pick, that was so sick. Man, so sick. Most people might not celebrate that, but how you do anything is how you do everything, or how you do anything is how you do everything. And I want to celebrate this like I'm hitting the 100th editor's pick that we've gotten. You know, how we do anything is how we do everything. Remember, fear, false evidence appearing real. What are you holding yourself back on? Maybe you're making it too big and you need to look at this thing logically. Maybe you just need to do some more back testing. Maybe it's not even back testing. Maybe you need to refine your risk management. Maybe you need to go over your trading plan. Maybe you need to see if your system's actually working. Maybe you need to go over the data. But don't just resolve to quitting. Maybe there's something else you can do, but don't let fear win. I'll catch y'all next stream. Peace.